Welcome everyone to historic Taft Stadium. Great Sunday to all of you as Energy FC hosting San Antonio FC. Both teams need points now. Both teams really looking, and the fans, the faithful coming out and looking to support the home side as they know that they need to start getting those points very quickly if they look to be in the race for that playoff spot and trying to be a contender yet again in 2016. Welcome, I'm Juan Arango alongside George DiMattelis. George, a little bit of action here and a lot of storylines that you start to see in this particular match.
Yeah, for Oklahoma City Energy, it's very important that they start picking up 3 points. They have a couple games in hand, but we know the Western Conference is a very tight conference. So anytime you can get points early, that helps you down the line in the season, especially when you consider the length of the season. You never know what happens with injuries. So Oklahoma City need to pick up these 3 points, and especially at home where they were dominant last season.
Exactly. We'll talk a little bit more about that as you're beginning your pre-match report, sponsored by Mass Mutual, is up next.
Every day I wonder if we're getting it right. Parenting, planning for tomorrow, all of it. As my mother says, the days are long, but the years are short. I want to protect what we have and give them what they need. But we're going to need some help.
Reaching your family's financial goals could be easier than you think. At Mass Mutual, we've helped families for more than 160 years. Let us help yours.
I don't think any city in America has come as far, as fast as Oklahoma City. And the reason you see so many highly educated 20-somethings move into the city is that vibe, is that energy.
And we want to be a part of that. We believe our MBA program is just as vital, it's just as interesting, it's just as engaging as other parts of people's lives. We can provide students with this incredible opportunity to learn in the places where they're living, working, and playing.
Hey Energy fans, I'm Brent Skarkey with your Mass Mutual pregame report. Oklahoma City finally back in the friendly confines of Taft Stadium after 2 straight road games, now back here to take on San Antonio FC. OKC most recently coming off the scoreless draw against Arizona United. That made them undefeated in their last 4. After being home for the first 3 matches of the year, the last 2 on the road have made OKC ready for home and ready to take on the boys from the Alamo City.
We're happy to be home. We know San Antonio's a good team. They've got some good results. And we're looking to be back in Taft and hopefully use the crowd in our favor and get 3 points underneath our belt.
We've watched a little bit of video. I've watched personally some video. They have some good players on their team. And, I think if we execute how we want to play, we should be fine.
OKC facing a San Antonio squad that has played well in its first season in the USL. At 2-3-2, they have young, hungry players that are trying hard to make a name for themselves. They did give up 3 goals to fellow Texas and USL newcomer Rio Grande Valley last week, and that's good news for the Energy. OKC struggling to put the ball in the back of the net right now, averaging just over a goal per game this year.
I think it's going to come. Obviously, if we're giving up a bunch of goals, that's probably a bigger issue to worry about, but we're not. So at this point, I think, once the goals come, the results are going to start coming and we're going to be flying.
Can Oklahoma City get their 2nd victory of the year, get another 3 points? We'll find out right around the corner. I'm Brent Skarkey with your Mass Mutual pregame report.
So we see right there both teams, Kalen Ryden, one of the players that scored those goals for Energy FC, as they both get ready for a very pivotal encounter. Still early in the season, but the points you don't get now, you start lamenting towards the end of this campaign. So Energy wants to accumulate as many as possible leading up to that playoff run. Of course, last time around, they were one of the top teams in the Western Conference, were able to get to the conference semifinals before going down to eventual conference finalist LA Galaxy 2. We're going to check out the starting lineups first, George, with San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio coming out in a diamond formation in the midfield, so we'll see how that plays out with the Haitian international, Sebastien Touillet. He is going to be the defensive player, the defensive midfield player, protecting that back line for San Antonio. And then Danny Garcia up top will be helping the attack with Sean Chin and Manolo Sanchez up top. Those two scored last week in the loss to the Toros of Rio Grande Valley. So look out for those three as the attacking trio that will test the back line of Oklahoma City in this match. It should be a great duel between those three and the back line of OKC, which have performed very well this season, especially the two center backs who are developing quite a partnership in defense for the Energy FC. And they're starting 11 here. Big change here. Chiva Cuevas comes into the lineup as Colin Bonner drops to the bench. So it's going to be a 4-3-3. Throughout the season, it's been a 4-2-3-1 with Danny Koenig by himself up top. Now he's going to get a little bit of help with Dahlgaard and Kraft. So that should open up some chances for Energy FC. And Brett mentioned how they're struggling to score goals, but Cyprian Hedrick made a great point. As long as they are not conceding goals, once the goals start scoring, that's when the results will come. So looking forward to see how the 4-3-3 works for Jimmy Nielsen. Making that tactical switch should open things up, create more opportunities for Energy FC.
One thing to piggyback on what you just said, George, if you look at the 5 goals that Energy have conceded, they are tops in that defensive category. Actually, they're in second place, tied for second place with 5 goals conceded. Only Sacramento have conceded less goals so far this season, not just in the Western Conference, but in the entire USL. So that's another thing that Jimmy Nielsen has to really hang his hat on as far as that's concerned. The goals, you are going to have your ups and downs, your ebbs and flows, but as soon as those goals start coming, then everything else starts to come back with a lot more confidence. So we'll see how that plays out as you see the boss right there, and you also see man right there, Josh Ford, former Orlando SC man, as he's coming back into the lineup. So again, very important as we see both captains there for today, Michael Thomas as well as Josh Ford, getting ready for the match to begin just moments away from kickoff here at Taft Stadium. George, some keys to start looking at leading up to this match. I mean, what are the tendencies that we should start looking at as far as this match develops?
Well, I think for Oklahoma City, the key to watch for in this game is going to be that 3-man midfield, Cuevas, Biscoff, and Thomas, how they move throughout the midfield, who's going to drop back in defense when those wing backs push up. Also with Dahlgaard and Kraft, 2 players very skillful on the ball, out wide. How are they going to do in terms of providing service and helping out Danny Koenig to get those goals moving, get that goal scoring happening? And then defensively, they've been solid. I'm telling you, the games that I've seen so far, Cyprian Hedrick looks like a USL first team defender. He has been excellent. He is a wall back there. So the keys in this game, the midfield movement of Biscoff, Thomas, and Cuevas, how Dahlgaard and Kraft move together, how they work to help Danny Koenig get open and free up some shots. And for San Antonio FC, on the road with that diamond midfield formation, how much possession will they have to kind of take the energy out of the Energy in this game? That's going to be a key. The midfield battle is always a key in any football match, regardless if it's USL or La Liga. It doesn't matter. How the midfields play will be crucial in this one.
That will be a very important battle to be looking at, not just from a possession standpoint, but also from positioning. Who's pushing who further back? It'll be very intriguing to see what goes on there as, again, Energy looking ready, have been working very hard during the days leading up to this match. They know the importance. Remember, Energy in 14th place with 5 points, but also you look at San Antonio just 2 points back, as they know that they are looking for some points to really start to move forward. They don't want to start. It's nice not to lose, but it's also crucial when you do get 1 point at a time that you start slipping away from that 7th place position that you're looking at, you're aiming towards, at least for this portion of the season.
Well, it's nice not to lose on the road.
Yes.
But at home, you have to pick up 3 points. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. At home, you have to win, not only to protect your home and make sure that teams know that they are going to be in for a rough night when they do come into your stadium, into Taft Stadium, but also for the fans, because if they see you're winning, the crowd, obviously the attendance goes up, but the energy goes up, the players feed off of that. So you have to defend your home soil, and not only defend, but attack, be aggressive, pick up as many goals as possible, score as many goals as possible, and pick up 3 points every single time.
So we're waiting for The whistle as we are underway. Thank you very much, Luigi Lazzarino, the referee, for tonight's match, as it's going to be right there, San Antonio and the all-white going from the left. So we're going to see what goes on here in the midfield is quickly. Another foul is committed early on. Energy trying to stop play, and right there you see Sean Chin clutching his calf. He just ripped right through. You see the shin guard just popping right out.
Biscoff getting him, clipping him from behind.
Looked initially like the shin guard popped out there, but let's see what happened. Hopefully all is well.
I think he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, that's good. But again, Chin, very fundamental for San Antonio in the early going, and obviously in the last match against RGV is he scored one of the 2 goals. Obviously San Antonio on the wrong end of a 3-2 score line. But nonetheless, they've been showing some very important bits of play. As Brent mentioned early on at the beginning of the broadcast, a very young team looking to make a statement. The ball's crossed back inside, and it's cleared out there by Cody Andrews, and still seeing San Antonio looking to press as the ball going wide of the goal, being defended by none other than Cody Lorendi. Morelos is a proud sponsor of Energy FC. Get shopping done and buy your Energy FC tickets at all 3 Metro Supermercados Morelos locations. Locations are at Northwest 23rd and Meridian, Northwest 50th and Meridian, and off of Northwest 5th and I-35 in Monroe. As both teams trying to bring that ball down into the area. Finally it is brought down by Chin as a man for San Antonio is down. And it'll be dropped all the way back to Josh Ford. Quickly we start to see it's San Antonio wanting to really possess. San Antonio is the one that really wants to push forward. Energy is just looking to try and find their spots as of right now.
Well, they have to be more aggressive winning the ball in the midfield. That's the key right there for OKC. Biscoff, we saw that very early challenge and tackle on Chin. So showing some aggressiveness in the midfield, but they have to just be more aggressive, get into those tackles, win the ball in the midfield, and then allow Chiva Cuevas to dictate some tempo to possession.
Ball's into the area, but right into the hands of Ford as you see San Antonio breaking out. And interesting to see how things have developed for San Antonio. Of course, 2 players out for today. No Fejiro Okioma. Of course, he absent because of a right calf injury. Meanwhile, Michael Reed also out due to an injury to his hamstring. So a little bit shorthanded there. Cyprian Hedrick bringing the ball down. Unfortunately, it goes right to Danny Garcia as he looks to take it on target. Easy there for Lorendi to bring down. So you do see again a team in San Antonio looking to press, looking to go forward, as you see right there. Not much, well, nobody really going and attacking or trying to defend there or challenge Danny Garcia. So pretty much an easy opportunity there for San Antonio, but an even better and calm save there for Cody Lorendi is, again, it's San Antonio looking to hold the ball. Koenig is always trying to harass, trying to make things happen offensively off his defense. Goes out wide over to Sean Chin. Chin looking back inside. As it's Manolo Sanchez, former Syracuse man. Ball being moved around quite swiftly here. Quick ball movement, the key for San Antonio early on. The ball goes out wide to Cochran, trying to cross it into the middle. Nobody there, dressed in white. As it's Energy again, looking to just take that ball out. The foul being called is quickly you start to see Energy in their transitions, looking to go deep, finding Michael Thomas as he's trying to go out wide. Cuevas also trying to get involved as Cuevas is the one that finds that ball, but the foul being committed right away, showing how key Cuevas is to the attack.
Cuevas has to start getting more of the ball in the middle of the park. He has to be the one that calls for it, be that link between the defense and the attack. He's going to be important in the midfield because Biscoff and Thomas are going to drop back and be a little more defensive-minded. So Cuevas is going to have most of the responsibilities in the midfield in terms of building up the attack.
Harris with a deep delivery, but it's taken out quite nicely there by Sam McBride. You see the man right there. Sam McBride of Elon College, continuing to show some very impressive form so far this season. Harris not being able to control the ball, but still fighting his way to recover it. Harris, as well as Koenig, they're battling, but cannot keep it in bounds, as it'll be a goal kick for San Antonio FC.
And most of the possession so far for San Antonio, it's got to be a little bit worrying for Jimmy Nielsen and Oklahoma City in these first 5 minutes. Obviously, very early in the match, but you don't want that trend to continue. You got to start seeing Energy FC get more possession of the ball, be a little more patient, and build that attack up slowly, get that possession so that they can find Koenig in the area and make some things happen in the attack.
Find themselves a little tangled up, but the ball back into the middle, not looking for Biscoff to miss that ball. It's Koenig dropping back and recovering it finally, settling it down in the middle. Again, is Harris now looking to send it in, but has to drop it back. Energy looking around. Koenig waiting for the chance. The ball through, but he was offside.
It's a tough break right there. Koenig, if they get the ball to him a little bit quicker, he's going to be onside, and he has a great opportunity because he was inside of his marker. And Oklahoma City, when they get the ball in the attack into that final third, they can disorganize the San Antonio defense a little bit. They looked a little ragged, San Antonio's defense, when that ball was played in. So the discipline might not be there. That might be something OKC can exploit as the match progresses.
Ford. Hedrick now delivering deep again. Ball being pinged and ponged back and forth from team to team, from one end of the pitch to the other. Push off with no call there is, again, it's Energy trying to hold on and being able to get possession again, as it'll be Michael Harris on the throw-in. And again, you start to see this formation begin to get at least some experience. You start to see players begin to gel a little bit more into this formation. Of course, it's been changed midstream, so Jimmy Nielsen slowly but surely looking to see if the proper pieces are in the proper places. So we'll see how it starts developing in the coming weeks.
Well, we talked about it in the beginning with the lineups in the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-3-3. And the 4-2-3-1 is something that can easily morph into a 4-3-3 with those wide players just moving up the field a little bit, and then obviously that middle midfielder just dropping back a little more. So it can morph easy into a 4-3-3. It's just a matter of practice and things like that.
Ball into the area. So now you see Energy getting opportunities, getting into the opposing team's final third, and even inside their 18, the opportunities just aren't falling into the back of the net as of late. Deep ball as it goes to Cody Lorendi, as Manolo Sanchez giving race. They're chasing him down, trying to see if he can make a blunder there, but Energy still not being able to bring the ball down to start playing it on the ground. It'll be San Antonio's ball already 9 minutes in, into the 10th minute of play. No score here at Taft Stadium.
And so far, San Antonio, they've come out very aggressive, and Energy have had to kind of weather an early storm. We'll see how they respond as the match continues.
Cochran, who continues to rush up that left side. Ball coming down as Energy looking to try and make something happen on the counter. As soon as it gets cleared out, Koenig battling, he can't bring it down. And another deep ball racing down the near side. Again, it's Quake Kraft, the loanee from FC Dallas. As he comes back, drops it, waiting for Biscoff as he's able to come through on the relay and drop it back into the middle as they continue to move around. Harris with the cross, waiting, looking, and and not being able to get to it is good anticipation there by Josh Ford.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough one to connect with Koenig on that far post. There was 2 Energy attackers in the area and 4 San Antonio defenders in the area. So that would have been a tough connection by Harris on the sideline. But at least it's there. At least it's something that makes the defense of of San Antonio think about it. That's good play by OKC to draw the defenders out, play the ball out wide, give them something to think about. And then if they can push more men forward, fill in those spaces, it makes it easier for Harris to pick out someone on the cross. Or I should say give them more options for Harris to pick out someone on the cross.
Energy FC's next home match is Tuesday, May 24th at 7 p.m. at historic Taft Stadium. Take advantage of Energy FC's Family 4-Pack. Get 4 tickets and $20 in concession cash starting at $80. Call 235-KICK and visit energyfc.com/Ticket Central to learn more. Energy now pushing forward. It took them a little bit to get out of their own half of the pitch, but now that starts to happen a little bit easier, as you see right there. Milton Palacios slammed that ball out. Didn't want any complications. Energy will get it back and trying to start all over again.
So a quick counterattack that Chiva Cuevas had an opportunity there and makes the pass a little bit sooner, or he would have had Koenig basically one-on-one with the goalkeeper, or just play it, instead of playing it kind of with the angle, if he had angled it a little bit different into space, instead of playing it to Koenig's feet, Koenig would have run onto it, would have had momentum going toward the goal, and Josh Ford would have been in big trouble. So a little bit of a better decision by Cuevas on the counter would have worked in Energy FC's favor in terms of a good goal-scoring opportunity.
Cueva sending it through, clear it out there by McBride. It'll be Energy ball now as we're into the 13th minute of play. Fans, well, they came out. They've been coming out in very good numbers so far this season, as it's Thomas looking to send the cross over Koenig's head and right into the hands of Josh Ford as he looks to start the break.
Oof, that was close. If Koenig makes the run maybe a second earlier, he could chest that ball down or head it toward
here's
goal.
Another ball that's very unfortunate for Energy. The ball hits the outside netting. Again, those mistakes, lack of communication at times, really costing, and it was very fortunate that Manolo Sanchez went on a wide angle and hit the outside.
Yeah, this is something you don't see too often by the Energy defense. A miscommunication, a mistake in the back. There was one goal early in the season against the Switchbacks that there was that situation. But for the most part, the communication has been solid.
Deep ball again, this time looking for Sebastian Dalgard. Dalgard now getting even closer to the final third to be more involved in the creation, not so much the possession, being more, I guess, well, you see him further away from goal and being able to go as...
Well, Dalgard has been very quiet. Maybe 1 or 2 touches in the first 13, 14 minutes or so. If he's supposed to be out wide on the left, that's where he's positioned. They've got to get him the ball more often. They're trying to play the ball to the right more often as the San Antonio defense is kind of giving that space. But Dalgard, if he gets more touches, he gets more involved in the attack, OKC looks a lot more dangerous.
Harris now finding partner there in Thomas, the captain. Deep ball again as Koenig getting held, but he continues plowing forward. Koenig goes out wide, the shot that goes just wide of the target. But still, you got to give him a great deal of credit. He was being tugged, he was being held, he was being pretty much harassed all over.
Yes.
And he's still able to get a shot off. That just shows you what he's able to create when the ball's at his feet.
Yeah, it was a bit surprising. Well, I shouldn't say surprising. Luigi Lazzareno, the referee, at first, I thought maybe he would whistle and give him a card because obviously he was going forward and pulling on the shirt. And I think Danny Koenig even yelled at the sideline official for the foul there, but he let play continue, and it led to an opportunity for OKC. But Danny Koenig is showing that he has the speed and the pace and the skill to get behind the defense.
And also you have to have him very active in order to start seeing dividends being paid. Koenig looking for his second goal of the season. Last time he scored, it was against the Switchbacks. But it's just pretty much what happens with strikers. When the ball goes in, it'll go in with their eyelash.
Oh, yeah.
It'll hit off the side of their ear. It'll go, I don't know, it'll hit off their hindquarters, whatever. It'll go in.
Yeah.
It's just when you're hot, and that's just where you start seeing those extremes when you're dealing with a number 9. It just happens all the time with every type of striker that you can find in world football.
Well, the great Christian Vieri once said, doesn't matter if you score goals as long as you're getting chances, and that's the key. If you're getting chances, the goals will come. If you stop getting chances, if the chances dry up, that's when you have a problem. Koenig is getting his chances. They're just not going in right now. But if the chances continue and he keeps getting his opportunities, he's going to start scoring goals, and then OKC is really going to take off.
Looking to reset as they're able to diffuse that situation. They're in very restricted quarters on the near side. Out wide is Kalen Ryden, bringing the ball back into the middle for Michael Biscoff as he looks to try and see what he can do is Palacios now. Here's Koenig, here's a ball going through, but out comes Ford, able to clear that out as Koenig was rushing onto the ball, but no harm done there for San Antonio FC. Well, 17 minutes in.
Yeah, Chiva Cuevas putting in some hard work on the pressure there, the pressing up top.
The front flip inbounds, gives it right back to San Antonio. McBride back into the middle, taken away quickly. Good job there by Energy to absorb any type of possession and really turn it into a counterattack as we're into the 18th minute of play. No score again. I'm Juan Arango alongside George DiMattelis as we continue here on Energy FC TV to show you the 2016 season for your Oklahoma City Energy Football Club. Ball going through. Here's a good opportunity. The ball right into the path in the back of the net. And San Antonio take the lead. 1-0. Great bit of movement there as it's Danny Garcia with the goal.
Yeah, this is a mistake in the back here. There's no way that ball should go between two defenders. This is Andrews and Ryden. And for both of them to collapse on Manolo Sanchez and leave all that space in the middle, that's a mistake in the back. One person either, that's where Kalen Ryden should be. He should be facing up Manolo Sanchez so that Andrews can play the ball and defend that space. Both of them collapse on Sanchez, and Sanchez does an excellent job of getting that ball through to Danny Garcia, and quickly. That's the key. The timing is perfect before they can really close down on him, and you leave the space. There's no way in the penalty area two defenders should be collapsing on one attacker in that situation. So it's poor defending there, lack of discipline by both Andrews and Ryden, and San Antonio takes advantage of it.
Another deep ball, and again, those mistakes paid dearly as Ryden clearing the ball out, looking over for Dalgard. And going down again is Chiva Cuevas.
Yeah, so we were talking about how OKC is one of the better defensive teams in the league, but just that one little mistake there between Andrews and Ryden cost him. Ryden has to be on top of Sanchez and basically body him, keep him between the goal and the ball. So he should be between the goal and the ball. He wasn't able to do that. Andrews getting a little bit undisciplined, getting off of his position, and it cost him. It cost him a goal.
Danny Garcia, of course, just to wrap that up, it's his second goal of the tournament. It's again Energy with Ryden now. Cuevas taking a great deal of time to push forward as it goes out wide to Michael Harris. Looking for Koenig. No one there. It's Coy Kraft a little too flat, and here comes but quickly anticipated nicely there by Thomas as he's able to get it. But now San Antonio with Palacios. Hedrick now pushing up. Very elegant move there by the defender. It's Harris. Kraft. Continue to press forward, but not doing it with a great deal of pressure. Here's the ball, the cross, looking and pending and cleared out there by McCarthy. Is continue to see the pressure by Energy, but we've seen crosses come through. Only one shot, another opportunity. It's Koenig making the run. Took way too much time to make it happen, and it'll be Ford getting possession of that ball. OKC Energy welcomes 11-time Liga MX champion Chivas in a historic event at Taft Stadium on June 28th. Don't miss the world's best. Take the pitch in OKC. Tickets are available at all OKC metro area Morelos Supermercados, at both Energy FC team store locations, and by calling 235-KICK or visiting energyfc.com/Chivas. So 1-0, and fine, we don't see as much pressure from San Antonio as we originally saw, but they've still been very effective when they have gone down into that final third.
Well, it's just a matter of excellent timing and then the finishing and making that final pass, making that final connection. But OKC's defense on that particular, on just on the goal on Garcia, they were a little bit undisciplined there. But now it's time for OKC to dominate the possession, string together 4 or 5 passes, move without the ball, and the ball movement will neutralize the press of San Antonio, because now that they have the lead, they're going to wait for OKC to push up, and then they're going to press in their defensive half. So if OKC can move the ball very well, move the players off the ball, that's the key. If the player movement is sharp into space, they can get an equalizer. But they're going to have to be precise, and they're going to have to make quick decisions and make the right decisions.
Yeah, wide. It's riding, going deep. Here's Dalgard looking to find Danny Koenig, the ball in front. Another chance, another shot! Oh. Unbelievable what happened just there. Ball just refuses to go. Koenig looking for a chance. Energy still pressing forward. Not out of the woods yet, San Antonio, as it's recovered there by Danny Garcia looking out in the middle. Here's a counterattack, offside. As you see the play coming through, but an offside call was being made there as Manolo Sanchez off the line. But unbelievable what just happens there. Great bit of defending as well. Give a lot of credit to San Antonio here on the reset.
Looks like Stephen McCarthy on the line to clear it away. Well done, excellent defending there. Dalgard, when he sends in that service for Koenig, his better play would have been to square it to Cueva in the middle, right there, basically at the penalty spot. He was right there. He squares it to Cuevas instead of trying to get it to Koenig near post. Cuevas has a much better opportunity, and the defense wouldn't allow the defense to get onto the line.
Here's Koenig looking to serve it through as the oncoming play did not allow Koenig as well as Dalgard connect. As now Dalgard swinging over to the right side, returning back very quickly to stay within the formation, staying within the shape. Diagonal run being made there by Cuevas as he's looking to try and free himself up. Harris down the near side. Option very clear. He's there, trust me. Right there, you see him. The ball drops back to Harris. Ball just bouncing around like a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but still, everything's good and dandy. As it was to getting it through. Garcia, the man that scored the goal, out in the middle, but now we see Sean Chin back in his original position, was kind of doing a bit of an excursion down the left side here and there, but really it's over on that right side where he's most dangerous. Deep ball again as it's Harris looking for the King. Clever. Good job there as it's Chiva Cuevas waiting for support on the left side. You see Dalgard making a run. Koenig in the middle. Can he connect? Too far for Koenig, but it'll be a corner kick for Energy FC at the 25th minute mark.
Yeah, well done in terms of Cuevas and that connection, but once again, Dalgard trying to play it into the 6, and he's got to see if anyone is at the penalty area in the heart of the penalty box to make it an easier connection and then obviously a better shot on target. But still, the movement to get that opportunity to make the danger was well executed.
You see a very involved Cueva, you see a very involved Koenig as well. The header that goes over. as it'll be a goal kick now for San Antonio as danger averted for the visitors.
And that goal that San Antonio scored sparked OKC. Maybe that's what they needed. You know, that they needed to go get from behind a little bit to wake them up, and it's working out well so far for OKC. I mean, you never want to concede a goal, but if conceding a goal makes your team more lively in attack, gives them more of the ball, more possession, then
concede it?
Yeah, then you. I would say concede it,
okay.
but
right,
you
well,
have to be.
I thought you were heading that direction. That's all.
No, you never want to purposely concede a goal.
Okay, well, all right,
but
fine.
if it helps your team wake up in the attack, then you can't be too upset that it happened. Put it that way.
Let's see if that's enough of a wake-up call for Energy. As they have responded, as you did mention, they have responded. They have really been able to get the majority of possession after that Danny Garcia goal. So you do see them really pushing forward. You have seen guys like Hedrick have to go out. You do see Harris as well as Thomas right there making a run. And again, a very active Chiva Cueva, a very active Danny Koenig. So the pieces are starting to get involved, which is more than what you can ask right now. That ball's not going in as it did early on when it was McCarthy deflecting it off the goal line. That's just tough luck.
Yeah, that's tough luck right there. But we've seen, you mentioned it, Cuevas getting more touches, Dalgard getting more touches. First 10, 15 minutes of the match, they were maybe between them 2 or 3 touches combined. Now that the goal was scored and now their attack is livened up, we've seen Cuevas and Dalgard.
The cross coming in. Another chance here for Energy as it's Dalgard having to open up, being pressured, harassed. Now he has to drop it back, trying to hold it for the last possible second. And there'll be a throw-in now.
Those are the 2 key players in attack for OKC.
Koenig,
Dalgard and Cuevas.
Koenig behind McCarthy, staying even with him. Trying at least keep that defense honest. Koenig, maybe a little bit too much or too little space between him and Cueva, and the ball gets rejected. And again, it's Energy with Dalgard. Koenig all alone. Now he's being marked. Koenig waiting as Dalgard hooked back inside, but again, it's going to be the ball going over to Ryden. Moving it around Energy just outside of San Antonio's 18. Here's Harris. Looking for Coy Kraft, who's been attached to that wing quite a big amount of time, quite a lot of time, as it's going back to Harris, continuing to press, and referee calls an infraction there. As Coy Kraft spectacularly gets knocked off the ball and lands right off the pitch. Danny Garcia being touted. It's going to be Energy's ball as the action is brought back retroactively. Luigi Lazareno making the call finally after Eric Bares gives him indication of the infraction. Bares first assisted Truman Burgal the second. And fourth, referee Lance Stewart trying to keep some stability between the benches.
Yeah, this is Koenig time right here. We've seen him score goals with his head. He is very good in the air. He has a clever way of moving off the ball, getting into space, and attaching himself, getting on the end of services here. So Cuevas' kick will be crucial.
Cuevas looking through, cleared out again by McCarthy as Energy continue to press. This is when you see Energy at their best, George. You start to see them really hovering around the 18 as the intention's good, but it goes way over Coy Kraft's head. So San Antonio looking to try and get out of their own final third.
I still like to see OKC, especially when the ball goes out wide, push a couple of more men forward. Biscoff has to come up, even Thomas come up, and give OKC some numbers, more options in attack, and then also some better movement off the ball. It appears that when they do get the ball out wide, they're just trying to connect with Koenig. It's not a bad idea, but if you're trying to get it, it's not a bad connection. But when you're down a goal, you want a goal wherever it comes from. And so you want to be clever in terms of who you want to connect with, the movement off the ball, playing the ball into space so that whoever is there has an excellent opportunity to score. So it's not all about getting the ball to Koenig. It's about playing players into space, making that right pass, right decision to get an equalizer. And you want to do it quickly.
More variation in the attack, as you see right there, Manolo Sanchez coming through, and Hedrick
And another thing about diversifying the attack in terms of getting different players involved, it makes the defense think. If you focus on Koenig, you shut him down, makes the defense easier.
Here's Manolo Sanchez. Speaking of diversifying, you see Sanchez now going down the left and trying to cross the ball in. But Hendrick very aware. Is now to be Cochran.
Is it me or Sanchez wearing the CR7 boots? Kind of look like the CR7.
Well, if it makes him play better, God bless him. 30th minute of play here in OKC is Energy down 1-0.
That's the guy Cuevas, number 6. He's got to be the one.
Morelos is a proud sponsor of Energy FC. Get shopping done and buy your Energy FC tickets at all 3 Metro Supermercados Morelos locations. Locations are Northwest 23rd and Meridian, Northwest 50th and Meridian, and off of Northwest 5th and I-35 in Monroe. Ryden. Moving it around Energy. Trying to create something here as, again, Harris has been very involved in at least transporting the ball through the ball, going to Cueva. Here's Croy Kraft moving it back and forth. Again, the chance, a shot that gets cleared off the line again. Somehow, some way, you've seen McCarthy make more saves than Josh Ford up to now.
For real.
Yeah. Still, that's the beauty of football. And again, another opportunity off the set piece for Energy FC as the foul on Croy Kraft. Boy, he's taking some really hard shots. And Kraft coming up, and again, 18-year-old kid has shown a great deal of potential.
This is what happens when you play the ball into space instead of trying to play it to the feet of players all the time. You play the ball into space and you move off the ball, you create goal-scoring opportunities and you confuse the defense. And that's what happened there. Now, Cuevas tried to square for Koenig. Maybe Cuevas should have gone for our post and tried to score there. I understand both options. It led to something positive for OKC either way.
As Danny Garcia was looking to take, I guess, one of the little
trash
pieces of rubber. No, it's going and cleaning his eye like you usually do.
Yeah, it's trash talking though.
Maybe a little bit of that too. Cuevas. Ball back inside, but right to Ford as he looks to break out, but really doesn't have anyone to break out to. So he waits as long as he possibly can to send that ball out of his own area. So now 33 minutes in, and yeah, you've seen Energy really create some good opportunities as Lorendi decides to just head that ball out, give it right back to San Antonio. As Lazareno saying, no, it was a handball. He's like, no, come on, it went off my stomach.
Garcia should be happy to get a yellow card there. He's complaining. He has no grounds to complain.
He's been argumentative at times, very few times, but still.
Yeah. The team is up 1-0. Just
he scored the lone goal so far. All good.
Yes.
Ryden. Thomas's
versatility. You've seen him at right back this season. Now he's in a holding midfield role, very crucial.
Koenig. Again, you see the ball being rushed. It took maybe just a half second too long to serve that ball to Croy Kraft. But again, it's Ryden recovering the ball, looking for Cueva. Back into the middle for Biscoff. He turns, waits for Cueva, runs onto the ball, but a little bit too far for him. Again, good work there by Sebastian Dalgard, going out wide again. Here are Energy FC. Koenig looking to get into position to receive the cross. That anticipated nicely. That's Touhier knocking it out of harm's way, continuing to press forward. But now it's San Antonio.
OKC had a great opportunity there. And just no one was running into space. You want to see some more movement off the ball, better movement off the ball.
San Antonio doing a good job of pressuring, of just trying to have the players lay off the ball as much as possible, as quick as possible, with the best or the worst selection possible as it's Croy Kraft generating that corner kick. So far the second of the match for Energy as we get to the 35th minute. 10 minutes plus whatever stoppage time will be given by the referee.
It was well done by Kraft. San Antonio's defense, it's kind of a bend, don't break attitude so far. They haven't been too intense in their marking. It comes down to the final third.
Cueva again, outswinger. Trying to head it again, but Koenig not able to get very good contact on it. Continuing to move forward. Continuing to try and get near. And here's a chance, the shot, or the cross, I should say, cleared out once again by the San Antonio Central defense.
You mentioned it, Juan. It's been the defense that has more saves than the goalkeeper. Because in that final third, it's that don't break. They're letting OKC get deep.
Just onside was Manolo Sanchez. Hedrick poking that ball away. Good job as they're able to clear that. And a good opportunity for a breakout here.
Whoever touches that is back.
Coy Kraft, Koenig onside, racing onto the ball, has one man beat. Here's Koenig, Koenig!
Got him!
Got it, and guess who? D-A-double-N-I-K-O-N-I-G-Z! Danny Koenig makes it 1-1.
He's the king for a reason. This is brilliant football by the king. And when you play one of the best strikers in the USL into space, he scores goals, and he can run out of defense as well. This is Kraft plays ball into space, so Koenig runs onto it. That's the key. Cuts back inside, and then finishes like all good number 9s do. Well done by Danny Koenig, and well done by Kraft to get him into space. That back line of San Antonio too high. The king finishes.
Tremendous there by Danny Koenig. His first goal since the match against the Colorado Switchbacks, and what a major relief for him. He's had tremendous opportunities, has missed on various occasions, but again, you can't keep a good forward down.
That's for sure.
Second goal of the tournament for him. So on the right path is OKC equalizing at the 37th minute. Again, give the assist, as you mentioned, George, to Coy Kraft, the young 18-year-old who's really shown sparks of really good potential for the future. His chin is down as play resumes.
Yeah, it's well worked by OKC, and when you consider that after the goal, Energy had so much more possession, so many more chances, you figure that goal would fall, and it did, but it was Coy Kraft playing the ball into space. When you can get the strikers moving off the ball and have them run onto it instead of waiting for the ball to come to their feet, the team is much more dangerous. The attack is much more dangerous.
I mean, you do see Koenig being extremely dangerous inside the area. We've talked about that a lot of times. And he is, obviously, but he also is just as dangerous when you lead him onto the ball and really have those opportunities when he does have to face a defender, run at him, and beat him as he did in that particular goal.
Yeah, Danny Koenig has the confidence, the skill, the footwork to beat any defender one-on-one, and that's what you saw in that goal there. Goalkeeper had no chance.
And the ball being recovered there. And San Antonio looking to regroup. Had Energy on them for a good portion of this first half, and now they're looking to recover in the middle as it's again Rafa Castillo.
What you saw after the goal by San Antonio is kind of a classic mistake that a lot of road teams make. They get a goal, especially early, 18th minute by Dani Garcia, and then they become conservative. And they're so afraid of opening up their attack and getting caught that they become more conservative, more defensive-minded. You can't be defensive-minded when you're up 1-0, okay? So,
ball coming into the area, the header goes over as a great service there. Looking for his second of the match. And Lorendi and Cyprian Hedrick talking to each other, but again, a great ball being put into the middle. Check that, that was Sean Chin.
Yeah, Sean Chin should have put that one away. He's got to finish those opportunities. When you have a service like that, one-on-one, over the top, and a free header, basically, you got to finish your opportunities. That missed chance could cost them at the end.
Here's Carlos Alvarez, former #1 draft pick for Chivas USA, out of the University of Connecticut. Also had some time over at Colorado Rapids. But again, you mentioned it. Just seeing what Energy have been able to do, to have those runs into space, to make those things happen. That you really start seeing that. Now, switching it around to San Antonio, they've been able to do it, maybe not as frequently, but when they have been able to do it, you have seen some players free up and have some good opportunities, just as we saw there with Chin.
Yeah, well, it's become kind of a tale of two games within the first half. You saw the first 20 minutes, San Antonio were the more aggressive side going forward. They had a little more possession, and obviously they scored the goal. They were pressuring the back line of OKC to force mistakes, and then obviously the goal with Sanchez connected with Garcia. And then after the goal, OKC put together passes. They looked like they were the better side going forward in attack, and then they got the goal. So how is it going to neutralize each other? So
here's an errant pass by Harris. Here's Chin looking across the back inside. An opportunity off of the right foot of Carlos Alvarez. Easily corralled there by Cody Lorendi. Energy FC's next home match is Tuesday, May 24th at 7 p.m. at historic Taft Stadium. Take advantage of Energy FC's Family 4-Pack. Get 4 tickets and $20 in concession cash, starting at $80. Call 235-KICK or visit energyfc.com/Ticket Central to learn more. Biskov looking for Koenig. Not a comfortable ball to bring down to Dalgard as he was looking to make a run. Touye.
You have to like Koenig's work rate. Number 9, he has been dropping back deep in the midfield, trying to win the ball, being physical. You gotta like the work rate of your star player. So it's a great message to the rest of the team. The star player, the star strikers tracking back in the midfield, trying to win possession.
And the ball, Cochran looking intended over to Manolo Sanchez as he's been moving around a bit. You've seen him on the left, now you're seeing him on the right as Chin moves over. Him and Chin have been switching sides. So now it's Kalen Ryden.
Good fluidity up top between those two.
Ryden also one of the goal scorers so far, one of the 6 goals that Energy have scored so far this season.
Yeah, balanced scoring.
Balanced scoring.
That's good going forward for Energy FC. Obviously, you want Danny Koenig to be the one with the most goals, the most goal-scoring opportunities, because he's proven that he can finish. I'm talking about a guy who was second last season in goals scored in the USL, so he has a track record. But when other guys on the team can get you a goal, when the situation calls for it, when maybe Koenig is not on his game, that makes OKC more dangerous in the Western Conference and obviously going forward into what hopefully will be a title run. So the more balanced scoring they get, the more dangerous OKC is as a team in the season.
McCarthy. Sam McBride, both central defenders just knocking it around. Palacios joining that sequence. Anyone really trying to open himself up is Touye. In the middle, Rafa Castillo doesn't get the ball. Deep connection. Skipping over everyone and going right to Cody Lorendi as we're almost 90 seconds left plus stoppage time. Errant pass there. Ooh, that's brutal right there as the ball goes right back to San Antonio. Waits a couple of seconds there was Hedrick, but quickly served back inside. Intended for Castillo, but taken away by Kraft, and now San Antonio just pushing that ball forward by any means necessary, and you really still have enough time to organize yourself and make something of it. Not sure what is being pointed at there by Greg Cochran.
For OKC, have to feel, obviously they're disappointed that they gave up the goal, but the way they responded is something that Jimmy Nielsen can take into the locker room as a positive for the second half. Now it's just a matter of, can they finish off San Antonio in the second half? Can they continue to play that way in the second half? Now that San Antonio is going to be more aggressive because OKC equalized.
So after Michael Harris goes Shaolin soccer there. Ball recovered in the middle by San Antonio once again. It's Touye right in the middle, looking to send that ball into the middle, looking for Manolo Sanchez, but recovered by Energy is moments away from stoppage time. The most 1-2 minutes tops should be given by Luigi Lazzareno. Really hasn't had many complications in this first stanza, so we will see what goes on in the second.
Yeah.
Now, leading into the second half, what adjustments should, well, let's start with San Antonio, what should they start looking at?
Well, San Antonio, I think in the second half, they have to get Alvarez more involved, Castillo has to be more involved, and they have to neutralize the crowd, neutralize OKC's energy by having more possession of the ball. That's going to be the key. If they come out with a road draw, that's positive for them. Obviously, you don't ever want to play for a draw, but if they do come out with a road draw, that's a good sign for them going forward. But OKC, they have to do what they did when they went down a goal, which is get Cuevas and Dalgard more possession and be more patient on the ball, knock the ball around side to side, and then try to get a second goal. Because this San Antonio defense, we've seen them, as I mentioned, bend don't break. They've allowed a space, and if a player runs in the space and they get the ball played into space, that San Antonio defense is vulnerable. So OKC have to just do what they did when they went down a goal, which is possess the ball, knock the ball around, and get Dalgard and Cuevas more involved, get them more touches.
Because Dalgard he'll get called for a foul for initiating the collision there. Final 45 seconds of stoppage time. Quite a few battles that he's had against that man right there, Stephen McCarthy. McCarthy, one of the big defensive stars for San Antonio. Being able to fend off 2 potential goals for Energy. One right off the line. So that's another thing that Jimmy Nielsen can really look at. The chances that they've had that unfortunately for one reason or another have not gone in. San Antonio, and you start looking at what Darren Powell's been able to do, also has to be pleased too, as they've been able to be strong on several occasions. They've been able to also attack, not as much as Energy, but still have looked very solid when they've done so. Here's Rafa Castillo looking for Alvarez on the connection, and that'll be the end of the first half, George. A first half where we saw San Antonio early on dominating, but after that goal, OKC really took over.
Yeah, OKC taking over in the last half, if you will, of the first half. And they showed that they can play attractive football. They can play possession-heavy football. As you mentioned, McCarthy cleared one off of the line. A couple of better decisions by Dalgard in terms of crosses into the area, and Energy could have 3 goals in the first half. But all this means that the second half is going to be very exciting.
So after 45 minutes, we are tied at 1. We'll be back with more as halftime is underway.
For Oklahoma City to get Danny Koenig back in the goal column as well, right? Yeah, I think it was a great build-up, good through ball, and a fantastic.
Everyone, it's time to cross Go to Bank off your errand list for good. Did you know you can monitor account balances, transfer money, deposit checks, pay bills, and more any time of day from anywhere in the world? It's possible with mobile banking from First Fidelity Bank. It's another way FFB gives you personal local bank service with big bank products. Visit ffb.com/mobile and learn more today.
Every day I wonder if we're getting it right. Parenting, planning for tomorrow, all of it. As my mother says, the days are long, but the years are short. I want to protect what we have and give them what they need. But we're going to need some help.
Reaching your family's financial goals could be easier than you think. At MassMutual, we've helped families for more than 160 years. Let us help yours.
Ground is been leveled and sod has been laid as Energy FC players and staff teamed up with Habitat for Humanity to help beautify Oklahoma City. Laying sod is no easy feat. Energy FC found that out when they volunteered for Habitat for Humanity. Luckily for the Energy players, the quaint little house on 95th Street had already been built, so all they had to do was pretty up the lawn. But that's easier said than done. Team captain Michael Thomas explains why building the community is just as important as building a professional soccer brand.
You know, we always want to be giving back as much as we can because we know that we have a lot of sport throughout the city. So doing little things like this, I think means a lot to the community and those involved with it, especially Habitat for Humanity. So we're proud to be here.
Habitat for Humanity's Chris Archer is thankful for groups like Energy FC who donate their time and effort.
Oh, it means the world. It's something they will know every morning they wake up about what went into making their home.
The final product turned out well. You would never know it was done by a professional soccer team. From building houses to growing the game of soccer, Energy FC continues to unify the community. Reporting in North Oklahoma City, Megan Delatorre.
So within the community and now on the pitch, we've seen Energy really show what they've been able to do, stepping up in a big way. 1-1 after 45 minutes. Again, I'm Juan Arango alongside George DiMatteis. George, you mentioned it during the first half. Yeah. It was I guess a half of two different halves because you saw one team really step up in San Antonio. But after that goal, things kind of changed and Energy started taking over.
Yeah, the energy rose for OKC after the goal by San Antonio. The first 20 minutes, I was a little surprised because I would think that first 20 minutes back home after a scoreless draw against Arizona that OKC would come out with more energy, but San Antonio came out very strong. They gave up the goal, OKC, and then you saw the Energy play the type of football they're capable of playing, creating a lot of chances. Probably should have had 2 or 3 goals, and they were able to equalize. So a good start for San Antonio and a better finish for OKC in the first half.
So let's check out the highlights for the first half as Energy, as I mentioned, came out a little bit slow, but they did have some opportunities early on. Here's the cross right to Josh Ford, trying to get Danny Koenig involved. But again, a lot of opportunities, but few that were coming through for Energy. Meanwhile, you start to see this opportunity early on as the development of that pass really weaving it through, and Danny Garcia scores his second goal of the season. At that point, George, you mentioned it, things started changing. You saw more pressure. Here's the shot by Cueva, saved on the line there by Stephen McCarthy. And you started to see momentum change a little bit. Danny Koenig was getting closer and closer.
Well, not change a little bit. It changed a lot. After the first goal, it changed a whole lot. You see chance after chance, McCarthy clearing off. Dahlgaard had some great opportunities down the left side. With a better decision, he would have led to a better goal-scoring opportunity than Danny Koenig. Played in the space by Kraft. He cuts it inside on Sam McBride and then scores. It was brilliant.
And again, you start to see not just that, it was the first time to Koenig that made a great difference. Let's see what Jimmy Nielsen had to say after the first half.
We are joined on the sidelines by head coach Jimmy Nielsen. And Jimmy, lots of opportunities. You get the goal, tie score, but you got to be happy with the pressure you put on offense, right?
Yeah, I think it's been a good performance. I think it's 2 good teams out there. They're battling and the intensity is high, and when we get our chances, we got to be sharp.
Got to be good for Oklahoma City to get Danny Koenig back in the goal column as well, right?
Yeah, I think it was a great build-up, a good through ball, and a fantastic finish, and obviously that's very important for Koenig to get the goals.
Let's keep up the offensive pressure in the second half, and we'll see you after this, all right? Thank you. Coach Jimmy Nielsen going in. We'll see you after the game, everyone.
Thanks, Brent. And as you see right there, the skyline of Oklahoma City, we're checking out what happened throughout this first half. And you see the shots. Yeah, they did favor San Antonio, but the quality of shots as far as Energy were concerned, probably a little bit more, although that could be debatable at times. And you start to see that. Obviously, shots on goal were more favoring the visitors. It was pretty even throughout the first half.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the statistics show the only thing that really stands out in terms of margin, if you will, is the more shots, quote-unquote, on goal for San Antonio over Energy FC, and then Energy with more corner kicks. But it was pretty much even. Energy had the better opportunities. San Antonio just had more opportunities. In the end, you want the better opportunities over more opportunities. So it's a good sign for Energy FC in the second half.
It does it is that type of opportunity.
Yeah.
It does make it very favorable for a team to really have quality over quantity, but either one has to be quite impressive so far. So let's check out what happens here coming up in the future.
When you buy a ticket and show your energy, a portion of the ticket price goes to Fields and Futures, a charity that renovates youth sports facilities for Oklahoma City Public Schools. And it's not just the ticket sales, the fans taking it upon themselves to raise money for Fields and Futures. And it's not the corporate big boys, it's the grade school little guys. Meet Brady Cochran, Jack, and Joey Bax. All three boys have the same birthday, and all three gave up gifts this year to raise money for their favorite charity. In lieu of presents, they asked their friends to donate at their party back in December. Head coach Jimmy Nielsen and team captain Michael Thomas recently visited the boys at their school, Chisholm Elementary, to congratulate them on the money they raised and give them tickets, courtesy Mercy Health, to the home opener against Colorado Springs, where at halftime the boys came down on the field. They were honored for their generous donation.
I felt very happy and proud to be up there. I was proud to donate all the money.
I felt pretty good because I want other people to play soccer.
I just love soccer and I love the energy, and I'm just a big fan of the energy.
So remember, next time you buy a ticket and come to an energy game, you're not the only one supporting Fields and Futures. I'm Brent Skarkey for Energy FC TV.
As you see right there, again, getting ready for the second half. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll have much more. Energy and San Antonio tied at 1.
Everyone, it's time to cross Go to Bank off your errand list for good. Did you know you can monitor account balances, transfer money, deposit checks, pay bills, and more any time of day from anywhere in the world? It's possible with mobile banking from First Fidelity Bank. It's another way FFB gives you personal local bank service with big bank products. Visit ffb.com/mobile and learn more today.
I don't think any city in America has come as far as fast as Oklahoma City. And the reason you see so many highly educated 20-somethings move into the city is that vibe, is that energy.
And we want to be a part of that. We believe our MBA program is just as vital, it's just as interesting, and just as engaging as other parts of people's lives. We can provide students with this incredible opportunity to learn in the places where they're living, working, and playing.
I was, in and out of the team. We still had to
I haven't been after the guys for it either, but we'll improve it.
Always said hi to me, always been extremely friendly.
He's the face of soccer, not just for the team, but for Oklahoma City. Jimmy Nielsen has done it all as a goalkeeper, an MLS title, MVP. But now the White Puma is coming off a 2015 campaign where he led Oklahoma City to the Western Conference Finals, not just in his second season with the Energy or his second season as a head coach, his second season as a coach ever, period. I had the chance to sit down with Jimmy and take stock in what the past, present, and future holds for the coach and for the Energy FC. Last year, playoffs for the first time for the franchise. What did the team learn? What did you learn from the Colorado Springs game, from the LA game as well, that you take into this year?
You got to make the right decisions. And, when the pressure is on, you know, it's tougher to make those right decisions. And I think that we'll benefit from those games during the season, and hopefully when we get into the playoff next season. It's different. Players, it's different. You know, going into the playoff game against Colorado, we only had 2 or 3 guys who ever played any kind of playoffs before. And it is different. You know, just when you hear the word playoffs, automatically a different pressure on you. I experienced that myself in Kansas City. You know, when I walked to my first playoff game, my legs were heavy. And I never had any problem with heavy legs before as a goalkeeper. But it's just different, you know. It's, you win, you're through, you lose, the season is over. And that's tough mentally going into that game with in the back of your head that the season could be done. And, you know, you got to learn from it. This is the American structure, and I'm actually starting liking the playoffs. And, you know, we're going to prepare ourselves during the season. Obviously, the goal is to make the playoffs, and when we get into the playoffs, we know anything can happen in the playoffs.
When you go into a restaurant in Oklahoma City, when you're about town, when you're with your family, is it starting to feel like home?
It is home. It is home for me. You know, I
know in Kansas City, obviously, you made such a name for yourself. You made such a reputation for yourself as a player, and I know you still have deep roots there, but Oklahoma City I think, has taken to you, and it seems like you and your family have taken to the city as well.
Absolutely. You know, we're having a good time, and my family having a very, very good time, which is very, very important for me, since I'm basically never home. So it's important for me that my family is at a good place, and all 3 of them, they're having a very, very good time in Oklahoma, and we like it that much. We even bought a house. Oklahoma is a great place for my family. You know, a lot of friendly people. It's a good city. It's an easy city. And the best part of Oklahoma, they got Energy FC.
Welcome back as we're getting ready for the second half. Both teams already coming onto the pitch as, again, San Antonio took the lead early on in the 18th minute with Danny Garcia scoring his second of the season. That was countered by Danny Koenig's second in the 37th. Again, as we mentioned, 2 teams that have really gone head-to-head, toe-to-toe so far and have really come out, and the score has dictated that storyline in a very precarious way for one team and for the other, because they both need the win. They both need the 3 points in order to maintain pace with everyone in front of them as far as the playoff race is concerned. Those are the implications, George Metellus.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a massive second half. Looking forward to seeing how it plays out. And for OKC, I want to see them do what they did after they conceded the goal, which is dominate possession, get play out wide, especially with Dalgard and Cuevas being more and more active. They need to control the midfield. They need to control the pace. When they do get the ball in the back with Hedrick and Andrews, they need to find Cuevas, they need to find Biscoff and build the attack that way, not allow San Antonio to get too much possession in the second half. If OKC can do that, they have shown that they can break down this defense with all the chances they created in the first half, and that could lead to another goal, and possibly the game-winning goal, and obviously the 3 points. So I want to see OKC come out, control the possession through Cuevas and Dalgard, and pick up a second goal and get more opportunities.
And you mentioned OKC, but also you mentioned San Antonio. What do they have to do? What adjustments need to be looked at from their perspective? Obviously, giving up that goal in the 37th minute, you saw that there were certain issues that were developing. You were talking about bend, don't break. Now, do you push higher? Do you drop back and remain the same? Or you try and get your offense a little more involved?
Well, I think you have to try to get your attack more involved. Look, between Garcia, Sanchez, and Chin, when they've had the ball, they've caused problems for that OKC backline and for the OKC defense. So for San Antonio, they can't be conservative. They have to be aggressive going forward because they do have a track record in this game, in the first 20 minutes, of being aggressive and controlling possession and being able to get into that back line and cause all kind of problems and create holes in the back to test Cody Lorendi. So I expect that San Antonio is going to be very aggressive, or more aggressive, I should say, than they were in that last part, the last 20, 25 minutes of the second half, of the first half.
As Energy immediately looked to try and go on the attack. No changes up to now as far as the lineups are concerned. The same 22 that stepped off came back on, so not much going on here, as you do see Energy, of course, trying to push again, trying to continue that momentum that really led to that equalizer off of the foot of Danny Koenig, his second of the season. Morelos is a proud sponsor of Energy FC. Get shopping done and buy your Energy FC tickets at all 3 Metro Mercado Supermercado Morelos locations. Locations are on Northwest 23rd and Meridian, Northwest 50th and Meridian, and off of Northwest 5th and I-35 in Monroe. Josh Ford coming off his line, coming out of the area and knocking that ball away as danger loomed for San Antonio. Just a quick reset as far as the starting lineup is concerned, George. You start looking at San Antonio, and you do see, again, that 4-3-3 or 4-3-2-1, however you want to look at it. Here's again another chance as the ball coming through and a free kick opportunity for San Antonio. We'll get back to the reset in just a second. Is again, you see a very dangerous Danny Garcia coming into the area and causing some problems.
Yeah, it's a diamond midfield for San Antonio. Forward and goal, you have Milton Palacios on the right, McCarthy and McBride in the middle.
So you do see, in the middle, you do see McBride and then Alvarez Turier and Rafa Castillo in the middle, in the midfield, I should say. Chin Garcia and Manolo Sanchez coming back for Darren Powell, who's in his first season alongside his entire coaching staff. Big opportunity here for San Antonio as Castillo, the Colombian veteran, and as well Carlos Alvarez. Here's Castillo rolling it right into little squibber right there to Cody Lorendi, as again Energy dodge a bullet there, looking to break out quickly. Chiva Cueva dropping back out to Kalen Ryden. Putting it back in the air. Not the best decision there, as it was collected easily by the former Honduran international, Milton Palacios. And again, it's Garcia to Rafa Castillo. Sending it deep, looking in the middle. Chin trying to get off of the defense. The shot, oh, the shot, the opportunity that goes just wide there off of the right foot of Manolo Sanchez. Kind of shielded there, but not enough pace behind that ball to get past Cody Lorendi. But again, great work by Sean Chin there as he's able to go up against Cyprian Hedrick.
Yeah, that's a great first touch by Sean Chin to control it and able to create a little bit of space and opportunity, and then he saw that his teammate was open for the shot and he was able to lay it off. Great control, great first touch by Sean Chin.
This time you start to see Energy look to send that ball down the right, trying to open things up over on the wings and make things very complicated for this San Antonio defense. Again, you have to try and start looking at the volume of attack, trying to see how you can be more varied as far as your attack is concerned, going down the wings, trying to look for something in the middle. That's been one of the stories so far for Energy, as Cueva going first post, but nobody there, as the breakout for San Antonio being stuffed. Energy continuing to play down the right side, looking to send that ball through as it was intended. Over to
Biscoff penetrating the penalty area. Good job by Biscoff coming from his deep midfield role to get into the attack, and another body that San Antonio has to worry about when they're on defense. If Biscoff can make runs deep from his deep midfield position, that could open things up for Dahlgaard and Kraft and obviously King Koenig as well. So Biscoff pushing forward there, that's a good message for Energy FC, and a troublesome concern, something that's troublesome for San Antonio's defense.
As you do see, when Biscoff goes up, it's Michael Thomas that shifts into the middle, and Harris starts, as he's been playing quite a bit high, out on the wing. You see him right there.
Yep, and it's because Thomas has a lot of experience at that right back position, so he knows exactly what to do when Harris pushes up and then drop back into that hole. That's great coaching, but also experience and knowledge by Michael Harris. Excuse me, and Michael Thomas as well.
San Antonio with Rafa Castillo, former Colombian international back in the early 2000s, bringing some of that veteran leadership in the middle. Again, it's Milton Palacios looking to serve that ball in. Never too much air, and Dalgard clearing it out as Koenig battling, jostling for position, but it's won by Tuguet as he drops it back. And San Antonio starting to establish themselves in the middle of the pitch, trying to push forward and trying to make an offensive stand here, trying to establish themselves and trying to keep energy back and trying to keep them away from their own half of the pitch. See if that ends up being effective. As a throw-in on the opposite side, Greg Cochran looking to come and send it deep, but decides to go short. Former Chicago fireman. Tuguet to Palacios.
Yeah, Palacios holds up his run there, and he doesn't need to do that. Palacios needs to try to go after. That was Dalgard that was in front of him, who gave him some space. He's got to take that ball to the end line, try to get around Dalgard if he can. Instead, he holds up his run, tries to send it across. That's easy defending for OKC. You always want to see your right backs, especially when they have the space, to run into that space because they have the speed and the dribbling ability.
You usually want that outside back to try, in theory, want him to go down the line and try and open that defense a little bit more.
Exactly. He didn't do that there, and he had plenty of space. That's the thing. If you have the space there, you have to run into it and exploit it. Make that defense nervous. Make the defense commit. That opens up holes, as you mentioned, open up space inside for other players who are making runs in the area as well. So Palacios should have exploited that space.
Garcia to Tuguet. The run being made by Palacios down the right, but it goes back into the middle. Is it Sean Chin that can't collect it?
The longer San Antonio holds the ball, the more Milton Palacios down that right side is going to be dangerous because now he's starting to push up. First half, we didn't even mention his name once. Now that San Antonio is building up the possession a little bit, he's getting more and more involved. He's pushing up higher on the field, and that could be a danger area, danger zone for OKC's defense if San Antonio controls more of the possession.
One of the players that we mentioned before that's been kind of quiet is Carlos Alvarez. The ball right through into the middle. Good opportunity, but Ford coming off, rushing off his line, doing a tremendous job of thwarting that threat. Veteran goalkeeper there being able to come up huge, but again, energy, weaving a few passes, conjuring up some space and making a very miserable time. Here's the opposite, the answer, but already offside.
Yeah, offsides there by Sanchez, but this is a great, that through ball by Dalgard is excellent. It's a great through ball, just a little heavy. If it was just a little less mustard on that ball, a little less pace on that ball, Kraft with his speed gets to it. Maybe he goes around forward and he scores or chips forward. But still, you got to like the thought process there by Sebastian Dalgard and the timing by Kraft to get onto that ball. He stayed onside. That was the key. You just have to give credit to Ford by jumping out and anticipating well. But it's a great ball by Dalgard, great movement by Kraft.
Deep ball again. Again, Garcia just letting that ball go out. Resetting quickly, but the ref says, no, bring it back. Bring it back. And he's like, why? So you do see a bit of confusion there. Why should he do that? Why not? And Michael Thomas asking the same question and pretty much getting the same answer.
Yeah.
You see right there. Darren Powell. Palacios just launching it into a crowd of green shirts surrounding the white ones, and it's Dalgard getting anticipated by Palacios as he's able to hustle all the way forward. Chin going up against Hedrick, and he was not going to win that matchup. Here's Rafa Castillo. Gets stuffed there by Biscoff. Continue action, and again, too close. The spacing there is Kraft and Cueva nearly running into each other.
Yeah.
As you see now, San Antonio holding the ball. Energy FC's next home match is Tuesday, May 24th at 7 p.m. at historic Taft Stadium. Buy your Energy FC tickets and buy the Energy FC Family 4-pack. Get 4 tickets and $20 in concession cash starting at $80. Call 235-KICK or visit energyfc.com/Ticket Central to learn more. Deep ball again, looking for Koenig. And now you're starting to see Koenig opposed, compared to how you saw it in the first half where he was getting some opportunities. As you start to see over on the San Antonio bench, Victor Araujo getting ready to come on. Of course, Araujo played over at Trinity College. A 25-year-old. So let's see what happens as you start to see Darren Powell start to look for more options, more variations in the middle. If you start looking at Araujo, you might start looking at Carlos Alvarez coming off. That's just speculation as of right now, just based on how Alvarez has been playing. He really has been the missing link in San Antonio's play, as advantage being given by the referee.
Yeah, well, missing for sure. He hasn't done much in this game, that's for sure. Carlos Alvarez, disappointing performance by him so far in the first 57 minutes. So Darren Powell making a right move. You don't want to wait too long to take out a player who has had zero influence in the game.
Piskov. It's Harris trying to find some type of space to send the ball, but has to go back inside. Thomas dumping it into space as it's, again, Chiva Cueva harassing and causing problems, but it'll still be a goal kick for San Antonio if we already get to the 58th minute of play. Let's see who the substitution will be for, as referee Luigi Lazareno already said he's going to come on. And you see Salazar also coming in.
It's like
Miguel Salazar.
I think Garcia, the goal scorer, is the one coming off, number 11.
Yeah, that is the case. Is Salazar also looking to get some playing time here. So first substitution of the match comes at the 58th minute of play. For Salazar, he's been playing in his 4th match. He hasn't scored a goal yet, the midfielder, but still one of those younger players, 21 years old, and can really hold the ball. Really shows a great deal of technical skill so far this season. And formerly from Elon College over in North Carolina. That's what the midfielder can do. It's Biscoff. Nice play. Starts to develop here is Michael Thomas going out wide to Boyd Kraft. Deep ball looking for Dalgard. Again, fighting for it is Koenig, but McCarthy beating him to it. Rafa Castillo in the middle over there, but it's Chin battling, finding some opportunities, and you do see San Antonio looking to get possession, have not been able to do so in the past few minutes. But Energy at the same time, George, you don't see them really penetrating and looking more for the long ball as opposed to what they were doing in the first half.
Yeah, it's good to see them hold the ball up. You're seeing short, quick passes and movement off the ball in the midfield, but they just haven't been able to get deep penetration into that final third so that they can connect with Koenig and Dalgard. It almost looks like they're getting pinned to the right side of their attack, because San Antonio have been able to keep them pinned into the right side of the attack, and they haven't played the ball out quickly enough to switch sides and then exploit whatever space is on the left side. So they have to, while they're doing things positively in terms of possession and quick passes, they just haven't been able to get the ball into space quickly enough.
And Cueva looking as the run by Dalgard. Doesn't reach him.
Cuevas a little quick, a little slow on the play there to get it to Dalgard. Dalgard was running free.
And here's Ryden. Already scored a goal this season. The chance, the shot by Thomas, misdirected. As there was a man out wide, and Coy Kraft could have continued to play that way.
Yeah. And it was good by Ryden to make that diagonal run into the heart of the penalty area, but he didn't really have, other than Coy Kraft out wide, he didn't have anyone else coming with him, even though there was plenty of space there. So that's a situation where the numbers weren't pushed up enough for OKC to really test Josh Ford. And that's frustrating because Ryden did well to kind of attract defenders to him to create space, but nobody else running off the ball into that space, and wind up getting a shot from long range that didn't need to be taken.
Alvarez, who moves over to the point. So you do see
Salazar is kind of on the right side of that.
Yeah, he's kind of on the right,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
But now you just see kind of a shift is Touye and Rafa Castillo in, but it's Alvarez coming in and Salazar filling into that particular hole that's being left by Alvarez. So kind of a rotation of sorts to try and get Alvarez more touches. Alvarez, again, former graduate of the University of Connecticut. One of the candidates for the Herman Trophy just a few years ago when he was over at UConn. Being coach there, actually at that time the assistant coach was a former MLS player, and Chris Bandy.
Hey, Chris.
Big Chris Bandy. Shout out to him over up in the Northeast and doing some great work up there in the college soccer scene. But again, another foul as Palacios goes down.
A little bit of a delayed going down by Palacios.
But yeah, you get hit there, you kind of, yeah, the delay is not that much, but
the pain is still the same.
Yeah, the pain is still the same. His fans awfully animated. Right there, gets clipped right there by Chiva Cuevas. Inadvertently or not, the pain is still the same.
No question about that. No question. Palacio up and moving though, so that's a good sign.
And reset here for Josh Ford. Palacios. Again, you see Chin and Hedrick going at it. Ball almost won there by Alvarez, but it slips away and cleared out. As Energy now losing possession, but it's Tourier trying to control it. Too short a ball. Koenig going through, but Tourier moving around so smoothly in the middle, really getting to that ball with a great amount of ease so far. So he's been one of those players for San Antonio that's given them so much balance, both on defense and also going out on offense.
Well, yeah, mostly on defense for sure. He has been excellent just cleaning up whatever mess is made in the midfield. Defensively, the Haitian international, he has been excellent in that back for San Antonio. And really, he didn't have anything to do in terms of the goal. That wasn't his fault. So he's been excellent in his holding midfield role defensively for San Antonio. And if they can get some possession, maybe he can move up and help out in the attack.
OKC Energy welcomes 11-time Liga MX champions Chivas in a historic event at Taft Stadium on June 28th. Don't miss the world's best Take the Pitch in OKC. Tickets are available at OKC Metro Morelos Supermercados at both Energy FC team stores and by calling 235-KICK or even visiting energyfc.com/Chivas.
That's going to be a good game. Looking forward to that.
Chivas, as we speak, playing right now the second leg of the Liga MX playoffs, going up against, well, that's the Clásico Nacional, going up against America. The first leg was scoreless over at OmniLife, and as we speak right now, that match is going on at Azteca, the return leg against Club America.
Chivas de Guadalajara is one of the most recognizable brands in all of world football. It's going to be a great atmosphere.
Depending on who you talk in Mexico, they're either the Yankees or they're the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So I mean, that depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
65th minute, low line drive as it's kept alive. And the ball right bouncing in Ford coming off his line. As again, the ball again very dangerous. Energy have really been able to cause some problems for San Antonio on set pieces. Has not really ended up in serious opportunities, but yet it's been a very complicated bit of sequences every time there is some type of set piece in San Antonio's side of pitch. Here's the race down the left side. The cross into the middle goes over everyone, but it's recovered nicely there again as the run was being made. And Greg Cochran making a good chance. The effort, the header there, missed again. Another chance is Salazar looking to make something happen. And again, just to kind of go back a little bit, that match between America and Chivas currently right now, Club America up 2-1 in the second leg over at Estadio Azteca. They're in the 78th minute of play.
It'd be huge for Club America if they could get past their arch rivals.
Still Chivas coming with all their big boys on June 28th to Taft Stadium. Ball coming through, but just slightly behind Manolo Sanchez. Biscoff. One move, opening up a lot of space. Ryden setting it deep again to Danny Koenig as he's looking to battle for each ball all by himself. Energy just looking to maintain possession. Ryden racing down the left side. Recovered into the middle, but behind the intended target, which was Chiva Cuevas. He's fighting, he's battling, he's looking. Again, it goes into possession of Michael Thomas. Good work by Thomas to keeping that ball in that deep final third. Chiva Cuevas. Cuevas cannot make the turn, loses possession, as San Antonio having all types of trouble there, trying to get that ball out of their own final third.
Well, that's because OKC put some pressure on that back line, tried to regain possession quickly when the ball was lost and they're attacking third. And that's what you have to do. When you have the ball, you lose the ball deep in your own attacking third. You want to press that defense quickly so you can get the ball back and get in a good position to score or at least threaten the goal. So OKC did a good job there.
Coming in is Jason Johnson for
Sean Chin, I believe, number 17.
Confirmation in just a second. And Energy just had a substitution as well. And it's Michael Biscoff coming off. First substitution of the match. Might be
San Antonio FC substitution number 18, Jason Johnson.
Right there, Jason Johnson coming in. The Jamaican, already 3 goals this season.
Substitution number 12, Daniel Gonzalez, replacing number 25,
Daniel Gonzalez, pretty much a positional substitution. As both situations, Johnson for Chin, also Gonzalez for Biscoff, a holding midfielder for another one, is now starting to see a couple of adjustments here and there as it's Tourier still possessing, decides to go out wide as Salazar has to drop back over to Palacios.
With that substitution of Gonzalez, Thomas is now going to drop. Don't expect to see him too much in the attack now. I think he's going to drop more in the middle, be that defensive cover, while Gonzalez and Chiva Cuevas will push up in the attack to help out Kraft, Koenig, and Dahlgaard. So Biscoff, decent game. Didn't have as much influence as I'm sure Jimmy Nielsen would have liked, but he did show some flashes, did help out in the midfield, hard work defensively, and then had his chances going forward in attack. But this is a substitution between now Gonzalez and Cuevas, where Thomas is going to drop back into the middle, be more of a roaming defender in front of that back line, and then Cuevas and Gonzalez are going to have to make create the chances for OKC going forward.
As Dahlgaard walking towards the bench, see if he gets back in. He looks like he's okay, but we'll see what happens here.
Attention please, Oklahoma City FC substitution number 23, Luis Martinez.
Luis Martinez coming on.
6, Jose Cuevas.
And they'll be coming on for Chiva Cuevas. So you take off a creative midfielder and you bring a player that really is one of those versatile ones that can go offensive but is mostly used for defensive purposes. So second substitution as Martinez comes on.
Chiva Cuevas, much better first half than in the second half. He had his second half. There was a little bit of issues with spacing between him and Kraft on one particular play. Didn't really get involved into the attack as much as Jimmy Nielsen would have liked. So this is smart substitution by the Energy coach.
Now, where does the, and looking at it from a tactical perspective, because obviously on paper we saw a 4-3-3, but it's become more of a 4-2-3-1 with Koenig very distant from his attacking partners. You do see less penetration down the wings. I mean, where do you see that substitution that was just made?
Well, I think that for Martinez, he's going to play right behind Koenig, and then you're going to see Gonzalez patrol the left sector, if you will. But basically, it's a midfield. It's a fluid midfield where they have the freedom to go wherever they want. I still think Thomas is going to drop back into the middle. I think it's going to be a 4-3-3 situation with Thomas patrolling that back in front of the back line so that Martinez and Gonzalez can go forward in the attack. It could be Gonzalez and Thomas as the two defensive midfielders. We'll see, but I think it's still going to be the 4-3-3 with Thomas in front of the back line, and then Gonzalez and Martinez with the freedom to go up and attack when they have the ball. That's the key.
Forward. Out wide, McBride. Looking back to Cochran, who cuts back inside. Nobody really making the run. Out wide is Rafa Castillo now. As he's turned back out to the wing, but couldn't control it. Ball going back inside as it was San Antonio looking to try and penetrate the deep ball to Manolo Sanchez. He couldn't control it. He didn't get it, I should say. And it's recovered by Salazar. And now you see Thomas pressuring, badgering, forcing the pass to go backwards. Another substitution coming on as it looks like it's going to be Colin Bonner, who's warming up over on the goal being defended by Cody Lorendi early on. Bonner looking to get back into some action.
Started the last match against Arizona in that 0-0 draw. Big body.
As Koenig now relegated to start trying to recover the ball a little bit more.
I would suspect that with Bonner coming up, it's going to be, I'm guessing Dalgard would be the one to come off. Remember, he was shaking up a little bit just a couple of minutes earlier. Another big body up top, another target to pair up top with Koenig, maybe go from a 4-3-3 to a 4-4-2. With Kraft dropping deeper into his right wing position. We'll see what happens there.
McBride back to Tourier. There's again another foul being called. The match has kind of fallen into a little bit of a rut creatively. Both teams trying to find their way back. See the substitution about to be made. Another deep ball as it's recovered, but not collected properly, but still Tourier being one of those players. To me, you start looking at him as one of the men of the match because of how he's been able to control the midfield. He still hadn't had many opportunities in the first half. He did have some situations where he just came in and really got the ball and really moved the ball quick. You did see him being that difference maker in that sector. As Manolo Sanchez disagreeing, says, you know what, fine, we'll see what's Bonner coming on. Let's see who the substitution will be for.
I'll be surprised if it's for anyone else other than Dalgard. I think Dalgard is the one, and that will probably come on very quiet in the first half, in the second half. And
it'll be for Coy Kraft.
I'm
in all
surprised.
defense, yeah, you can be surprised, but we really haven't mentioned his number as far as this second half is concerned. Kraft really kind of fell, not out of form, but he did lose the ball. He didn't have as much movement or as much possession or those types of passes. Obviously, one of them that led to the goal that Danny Koenig scored. So again, you do see a bit, maybe some will look at it as conservative, some will look at it as just really solidifying the midfield once again. Johnson trying to go past two defenders. Good job by Thomas to put on the brakes and just make things a lot easier. As Harris.
I don't think it's a conservative move. I think what you have is a player in Bonner who's a striker, someone who can finish the opportunities.
Ball looking very good here for Dalgard, dropping it back. Koenig did have time, but a little bit too far behind. The chance to shot by Ryden ends up almost hitting the assistant on the opposite side. Of course, that was assistant Truman Bergall.
Disappointing there because that was a well-executed, good passing for OKC to get that ball into the area.
Morelos is a proud sponsor of Energy FC. Get shopping done and buy your Energy FC tickets at all 3 Metro Supermercados Morelos locations. Locations are Northwest 23rd and Meridian, Northwest 50th and Meridian, and off of Northwest 5th and I-35 in Monroe.
So with Bonner now, it has to be a 4-4-2. With Bonner, 2 big strikers, 2 tall strikers in Koenig and Bonner that can get into the area. So those 2 playing up top. And then
Touye,
Thomas Dalgard and Martinez. Maybe not a flat 4-4-2.
More of a 4-2-2-2. Probably look at it.
That's a good one. That's a good.
Not the Brazilian magic box, but still, you start looking at it from that perspective. Here's Harris serving it into the area, looking right there near the top of the 6. Ryden recovering on the opposite side as it's recovered. Again, looking for Thomas. And the foul, yeah, that's exactly. And the referee coincides with you, George, as it'll be a good free kick opportunity here for Energy.
And Salazar is a little lucky, too, because he was pulling on Dalgard's arm in the penalty area. And so Dalgard using his strength to get the ball, win possession, but he was pulling on his arm in the penalty area. If Dalgard, for lack of a better term, sells it a little bit better, maybe it's a penalty.
Now you're not condoning that. I mean,
no. Well, it's competition. You look at him. He's pulling on his arm in the penalty area. That's a clear foul. That could have been a penalty in favor of him, but Dalgard goes down when he gets kicked. So Dalgard showing great integrity by not diving in the area there. But it was a foul on Salazar in the area.
Could have been called as a ball going through Ford. Also for consideration for man of the match. He's not had a lot of saves, but him anticipating and him playing off the line really has been fundamental. As again, we'll see some Shaolin soccer here.
Sweeper keeper stuff by John Ford, a la Manuel Neuer.
Maybe not.
Oh, it is a flip.
And again, the flips are very exciting, very, very enthusiastic, but 3 out of the last 4 have gone directly back to San Antonio. Ford, at this point, just waiting, just being calm and looking to deliver that ball as far as possible, as high as possible. Both teams now decide to start saying, okay, who wants it? It's Palacios skying it up and out and far away from the field of play. 79 minutes at this stage of the match, and both teams tied at 1. And the ball, as it was a good effort there by Gonzalez to send that ball through, but it goes right back to San Antonio. Here's Rafa Castillo dumping it into space, being chased on the far side. As again, you see San Antonio looking for a chance, but it goes right to Lorendi.
Well done down that far side by Cochran, chasing it down, when played into space for the left back to run onto it. So Cochran, on a couple of occasions in this second half, has shown the ability to get up the pitch and send in a service into the area. Just hasn't connected with one of his teammates, but at least Cochran is getting down that left side, and that's a problem for Harris in terms of defending.
Just gotta love the control that Michael Harris has of the ball, and that's why you can have a player like that move from position, move from right back to defensive midfield, or be that pivot in the middle to really distribute the ball out. I mean, just love the way he steps on the ball and thinks a little bit more. You do need more of those types of players in the game here in USL to really offer some more thinking, some more intelligent play. As well, Martinez lets the ball go.
Yeah, tough break for Martinez there. And Dalgard did some great work playing the ball out wide to Martinez. And Dalgard had some space there. Maybe if he kind of turns toward a goal, gets a better opportunity, but you can't fault him for that. Martinez did well to make himself available down the right side. Dalgard did well to get it to him on the right side. It just mistake and a poor touch and a costly possession, losing possession for OKC, although they get it back quickly.
Again, trying to send that ball through the ball. Very threatening as it almost lands in front of Dalgard. He's waiting. There's a chance. The shot, it goes wide. Now did Ford get a piece? Nope, they're saying no. It'll be a goal kick already as we're into the final 10 minutes plus of this match.
But you saw the value there of Bonner, because Bonner was the one at the near post that Martinez was trying to get to, and he was able to, didn't win the battle against Stephen McCarthy there, but he was able to create space for the shot by Thomas. His ability to get in the area, be that target man, is a problem for San Antonio's defense.
Now, from a tactical perspective, and I'm going to play a devil's advocate here a little bit more, when you have Danny Koenig and you have Bonner inside, don't they kind of get in each other's way?
Well, Koenig, no, because Koenig is smart enough to know that Bonner is someone who is a penalty box predator. So you give the penalty box predator, you give him the space in the box. Koenig drops back a little bit into the midfield because he can run at defenders, as we saw with the goal. And so that is the good partnership there. That's the spacing that's necessary. Because Koenig is smart enough to understand Bonner's ability and role in the attack, he drops back in the
Rafa Castillo sending the ball deep. But collecting there is Manolo Sanchez. Salazar can't connect and ends up giving it right back to Energy as Kalen Ryden. 81:55 left in the match, plus stoppage time. We're still tied at 1. Hedrick skying it up, brought down by Bonner. As Dalgard chugging, looking to get to that ball, never was going to. You start to see again fatigue start to set in a little bit.
Look at Koenig. He's trying to pump up his squad here, saying, come on, fellas, let's go. This is winning time. This is when the teams that are the elite teams find a way to get a goal, find a way to pick up the 3 points, the victory. So this is where OKC can distinguish themselves as a true power in the Western Conference.
So Bobby Mosley in for Rafa Castillo. That's the third substitution at the 83rd minute of play. So Mosley, the Irishman, coming on. But if you're Darren Powell, you've seen how your team's been able to react as Dalgard trying to get through, but not being able to do much after that. If you're, if you were Darren Powell and you see how your team's reacted in this second half, you have to be pleased, maybe not with the final score, but still, or with the score up to now, I should say, but you should be very pleased with the performance and the execution of limiting the opportunities that were once plentiful in the first half by Energy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Second half, San Antonio has done well to, as you said, limit the chances for OKC.
Johnson has that ball deflected. It'll be a corner kick. Haven't had very many. The last time was early on in the first half, as now it'll be Carlos Alvarez. It was interesting. Spoke to one of his former coaches. There's a coach that made a lot of headlines the brief time that he was in MLS in El Chelis.
When doesn't he make headlines?
Yeah, well, not as much as he used to.
Yeah.
Now he's more in the television side down south of the border. It's Alvarez. Looking to go through, cleared out. And he was asked, well, why did you like Carlos Alvarez when he was at the MLS Combine right before he selected him as number 10 in that draft? He said, well, I saw him and I looked up and he was the only one looking up. So he went through and he did show a great deal of potential, but obviously that regime ended very quickly, as you all well know, and now being one of the key players for San Antonio FC.
important for San Antonio to get those players, young players with talent, get them on the roster, get them going forward, pushing forward. Darren Powell having some words with the officials, the fourth official, as every coach does in a tight match.
Energy FC's next home match is Tuesday, May 24th at 7 p.m. over at historic Taft Stadium. Take advantage of Energy FC's Family 4-Pack. Get 4 tickets and $20 in concession cash starting at $80. Call 235-KICK or visit energyfc.com/ticket central.
Set piece. This is massive right here for OKC.
And you have two big boys. You have two
Yes.
towers out there in Bonner. Well, you also see Hedrick coming in. He's also a factor. Of course, Danny Koenig.
Yeah.
Ball going far as Hedrick looking, but he gets beat to it as McCarthy able to glance it off the top of his head. It'll be a corner kick, but on the opposite side for Energy, 85-55 and counting.
Look at the two players on the post for San Antonio. That's fundamental right there in case Josh Ford gets beat. See if that it turns out to be the case there. But two players on the post, important.
Ball, Energy trying to keep it in bounds. It goes off of the roof of the goal. Less than 4 minutes left as Energy just dashing back in order to defend. San Antonio really haven't seen a dangerous chance off of them since towards the end of first half. Yeah, when that opportunity that was off of Sean Chin goes over the goal. That's pretty much the last time you saw anything of significant danger from San Antonio. Deep ball, well, deep ball is because it stayed deep inside San Antonio's half of the pitch. Ball while going through, Bonner almost gets through, but anticipated nicely, but the foul being committed. Trying to go quick was Koenig, slapped away there by Alvarez, showing some gamesmanship, but also in the heat of the moment.
Uh-oh.
Really sparking the ire of one Danny Koenig.
It's just frustration on both ends here that...
and this will take up some time, as you see. Handball being called there on Stephen McCarthy. Right there, Koenig looked like he was playing rugby and trying to start a ruck there, but...
Yeah, Sam McBride, at least to Koenig, Sam McBride is kind of getting in the way, not allowing him to set up for the free kick, and Koenig took offensive. But you'd like to see your center forwards have that fire, you have to play with that edge.
Martinez looking to set it through for Koenig. Bringing the ball coming through, heading it, missing it. And ball's cleared out there by Wilson Palacios. Cyprian Hedrick. As Energy continue to try and pin continue to pin San Antonio, I should say, into their own back of the pitch. And now the counterattack full speed ahead here for San Antonio FC. Deep ball.
Flag down.
As again, it's Johnson going up against Hedrick. Looks back inside, doesn't have an angle, and it'll be a corner kick for San Antonio on the opposite end of the pitch.
Selfish by Johnson. Selfish. He had Manolo Sanchez making the run into the area. If he could just with his right foot kind of bend it to Sanchez. Sanchez is one-on-one with Cody Lorendi, and Johnson tried to be the glory man. He tried to score the goal that would give him the victory. Instead, he was too selfish there. Manolo Sanchez made a great run in this space. Johnson has got to lay it off for Sanchez there. That's a poor decision by the number 18 of San Antonio.
Alvarez. Deep ball trying to make a tremendous finish. Is Touye, the chance, the shot right to Cody Lorendi. And Energy taking quite a little bit to break out. Punts it out of his area. Dropping it back as we're in the final minute of play. About 2-3 minutes will be added by referee Luigi Lazareno. Cross. Looking for Bonner, looking for Koenig. Can't find either one. Again, here's Dalgard. The chance, the shot!
Oh.
Ends up being a throw-in for San Antonio on the opposite end.
Dalgard, plenty of space, plenty of time. If he settles it and then just kind of caresses it into that top corner, that upper 90, he's going to finish it. It's 2-1. Look, he's got all the space and the time to let this settle and to pick his spot. And he just tries to go too fancy with the outside of the right boot. But well done by Michael Thomas to head it to Dahlgaard, to see him open, and just Dahlgaard just misses the opportunity.
Here's Dahlgaard trying to redeem himself. Actually, that's Martinez as he's looking to rush through. And again, you see Energy lose the ball. 4 minutes will be added by Luigi Lazareno here.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time for both sides to make something happen.
But I suspect that San Antonio at this point, especially they brought on Mosley, who's a defender, and Castillo, who's more of a midfielder, can get forward a little bit. When they brought on Mosley, that's signified to me that Darren Powell is satisfied with a draw. So these last 2.5 minutes or so, look for OKC to really keep the ball in their attacking end and try to get this late goal to win it.
Man of the match?
Oh, that's a good question. Great question. I would say, I'll give it. I'm going to be a little biased here because of my of my heritage, but I'm going to say Sebastien Touvier was the man of the match for San Antonio. Did well defensively. Wasn't asked to do too much in attack, but did well defensively in front of that back line. And you know what? OKC, Danny Koenig got the goal. So those are.
Here's another opportunity. Is Koenig making the run? And again, you saw Gonzalez not able to get that ball through. Here's Martinez down the right side as he's harassed by Mosley. Looking to cross it back inside. It'll be another corner kick. 91-36. Already 2.5 minutes left in this bit of stoppage time. In swinger now, a little bit different is you see Martinez, left-footed corner kick, looking to go through right into the hands of Ford, but he has no one to send the ball to, and everybody's just going to be very patient.
Can I change my man of the match?
Should be Josh Ford. For me, Josh Ford.
You got Josh Ford?
And Michael Thomas for Energy.
I was going to say that. Michael Thomas, to me, overall, he was the one.
He was the most consistent of all.
Yes.
I mean, Danny Koenig, yes, he scored the goal, but overall, the one that really controlled the tempo for Energy, the one that was most consistent, lost the most duels, won the most 50-50s, and really open play from all sectors was Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I agree with that. Michael Thomas. That's why I was changing it. I was like, God, Michael Thomas.
Oh, no. You can't do that stuff now. No.
Oh, it's too late?
Come on, too late, dude.
Too late.
Nah.
That's all right. I'll just tweet it.
Nah, you can't be jumping on bandwagons all of a sudden like that, man. Don't work that.
That's a good bandwagon. Michael Thomas, the captain. Great game.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, you made a point.
Yeah.
Again, Johnson stepping, going up against Hedrick. As he's shadowed, his play is forced back, looking for Johnson, but he was making his way back, and it'll go to Cody Lorendi. So, save for any last-minute heroics, you see now one win in their last 6 for San Antonio. Energy still drawing. Again, there's still about 40 seconds left in stoppage time. Energy really has to start looking at sending the ball deep. This is Cody Andrews serving it, looking for Koenig, looking for Bonner. Again, Touhier winning the ball. Mosley is getting it anywhere but their own half of the pitch. Final 20 seconds. Meanwhile, Energy FC looking to continue going forward. Ball just cleared, skied, I should say, up in the air by McCarthy. Play continues. McBride goes down. Energy, of course, have a few more matches playing against Mississippi Brilla in U.S. Open Cup play, playing against Real Monarchs. And this result right now, yet another draw. 3rd consecutive draw for Energy FC. Goal scored by Danny Koenig. Action was opened up by Danny Garcia for San Antonio. So a 1-1 score really doesn't help anyone, but still both teams able to get 1 point. Somewhat losing ground with the top 7 in the Western Conference, yet you still need to start getting those 3 points every single time you go out on the pitch from here on out. It's been a very important result, especially for San Antonio. Energy were able to create opportunities again, George, but really cannot be able to get that ball in.
Yeah, San Antonio, they'll be happy with the road draw. OKC will be disappointed, especially with their performance in the second half with the draw at home.
We'll be right back with the post-game report brought to you by UCO Downtown NBA. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
First half was good. Second
fast as Oklahoma City. And the reason you see so many highly educated 20-somethings move into the city is that vibe, is that energy.
And we want to be a part of that. We believe our MBA program is just as vital, it's just as interesting, it's just as engaging as other parts of people's lives. We can provide students with this incredible opportunity to learn in the places where they're living, working, and playing.
Welcome back as we begin the post-game report brought to you by UCO's Downtown MBA. Connect to the future of business. Finish your MBA from Central in just 22 months. Visit mba.uco.edu for more details. George, again, let's check out the highlights of what happened in the match. A 1-1 draw. Does it favor San Antonio? Maybe just a little bit as they get a road draw, but Energy still able to get a point for a third consecutive time. Here's the goal for San Antonio. Open proceedings, 18th minute. Ball being served by Rafa Castillo. And then the final touch by Danny Garcia. Again, Josh Ford, one of the men of the match, really coming through in the defense. Of course, anchored there by Stephen McCarthy, saving the day as Ford really coming through on a couple of big occasions. So did McCarthy, but Josh Ford really off his line on several occasions, but he could not stop this one. Great pass by Coy Kraft, and Danny Koenig gets back on the score sheet. His first goal since the match against Colorado Springs, his second of the season. Great opportunities, but again, the second half was a different story.
Yeah, second half for San Antonio. They basically were a little more conservative. They had their opportunities. Cody Lorendi in the right place at the right time, well positioned, and they were able to keep San Antonio from scoring. And then a couple of times San Antonio's back line played high, and Josh Ford had to come off of his line, way off his line, to make a big intervention there. And then this is chance for Oklahoma City. Josh Ford had an excellent game in between the sticks for San Antonio. You can't blame him for the goal. And OKC, with the exception of maybe the last in stoppage time, they really blew their chances to put this game away. We saw Michael Thomas, the captain, with an opportunity. We called him our man of the match. Dalgard had one off his right boot with plenty of time and space that went wide. So it really was a case of just lost chances for OKC in this game.
So who was the man of the match, George? Well, we're going to find out right now as he was talking to Brent Skarkey.
Of the match.
We are on the field with the man of the match, Danny Koenig. Danny, not the result you guys were looking for, but it is a point. You get your first goal. You got to be feeling pretty good.
Actually not. I'm happy for my goal and we got 1 point, but right now I'm so disappointed we didn't get the 3 points. We're playing too much draws, so we need a win.
You guys did create a lot of chances in that first half, kept the pressure on in the second half. Is it just a case of cashing in when you get the opportunity?
Yeah, sometimes it's harder to score goals than other times, and now we're in a period where we're not scoring so many goals, but we had a good performance today, and we have a lot of things to take on to the next match, so hopefully we can get some wins.
Thanks for the time, Danny. Congratulations on the goal. Danny Koenig, our man of the match.
As Danny really didn't mince his words as far as how he feels. As you see right there, the final tally of stats, as it was San Antonio getting 11 shots, 6 of them on target, although the opportunities that they had really were crucial. Maybe not so complicated for Cody Lorendi, but that one shot on goal for Energy ends up in the back of the net, as it was Danny Koenig getting his goal. Corner kicks, they favored Energy, as did at least the fouls committed, because they committed less, 8-4. But again, you did see a second half where you did see the play or the run of play get into a lull a little bit, and neither team was able to find their way.
What I like about what we just heard with Brent and Danny Koenig, I like Koenig's honesty. he was not happy with the draw at home. A lot of times you see players and they kind of give you these media prepared answers. Well, we fought hard and we got the draw and credit to San Antonio. No. He said he was disappointed. You can tell by his body language and his face that he was not happy with the result. He took it as if it was a loss, and that is a good sign going forward. You want your star player to be a little bit emotional and upset. So I like Danny Koenig's attitude and his honesty when he was talking to Brent.
Some disappointed fans leaving Taft Stadium as a 1-1 draw between San Antonio and Energy FC. So for George DeMatteis and everyone that makes it all possible, thank you very much for watching. Good night. See you next time here on Energy FC TV. Peace.
Stretched out to the middle, back to
Broke it up. There's a shot. They score! They score!
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.